Hello everyone. Today what we are going to learn is direct indirect speech in English language. To express our feelings, it's very important for us to converse with each other. Every now and then we talk to our friends, with our relatives and with all the people around us. Yes, one of us express ourselves, the other listen, and then later on this listening he expresses to somebody else in the form of reported dialogue. That is what we are going to learn today. The topic for us today is direct indirect speech. Yes, for example, he is Tom. Tom meets his friend Eric at 9 a.m. in the morning, and he says that it is a hot day. After a few hours, Eric meets one of his friends whose name is Bob, and he says that Tom said it was a hot day. It was a hot day. So, what Tom is doing over here? Tom said directly to his friend Eric that it is a hot day. Next we find Eric reporting the same thing what Tom has said to Bob, that it was a hot day. So what we find over here is that Tom is directly saying to Eric what sort of a day it is, and Eric reporting to Bob that it was a hot day. So we see that Tom said it is a hot day. Eric reports this and said that it was a hot day. What is the difference that we find in these two sentences? The word is over here is used in the present tense, whereas this word used when it is reported in the reported speech, it is converted into its past form, which is was. The word is reported in the past tense. So what do we do here is we see that the past tense is changed. The present which was used in the direct speech was changed in the next direct indirect speech as the past form of the verb over here. Again we find that second sentence. For example, Rama said, rain fell last night. And this direct speech will be reported and said that Rama said that rain had fallen the previous night. What do we note over here? Again we note here, it is to be noted that the comma which was used in the direct speech over here, it is no longer written here in the reported speech. The direct speech which was written in the direct speech which was written, the inverted commas, within the inverted commas, we do not find those inverted commas again to be written here in the indirect speech. So that is the difference in the punctuations used in the direct and the indirect speech. Again we see that the word fell used in the direct speech. What form of the word it is? It is the past form. What is it being done in the indirect speech? It is the past perfect tense which has been used over here. So the past tense is being converted into the past perfect tense in the reported speech. What is the rule that we are following over here is the present tense, the simple past tense over here in the reported speech is often, but always remember, not always, it is changed into the past perfect tense. I repeat once again, the simple past tense in the reported speech is often, but not always changed into the past perfect tense. So this is one rule that we follow when we are converting direct speech into the indirect form. Sheila said, man is mortal. Seema said that man is mortal. Now, what do we find in these two sentences? As I have already said, here it is to be noted that the inverted commas are removed. We do not find the inverted commas in the reported speech. This is the difference in the punctuation, and the comma that was used here, in its place we have used the word that. With this word we have joined these two parts of the sentences. What was told before is the present tense in the direct speech would be converted into its past form. But here it is to be noted that in this sentence we have not changed the verb in these two sentences, neither in the direct nor in the indirect speech. Now what is the reason behind it is? It is only possible when the sentences are relating any universal truth. This sentence, man is mortal, it is an universal truth. So in this place, when we say something which is an universal truth, there is no change in the tense of the verb that is used in the sentence. This is the third law that has to be kept in mind while we are converting a direct speech into an indirect speech. Say, for example, he said, it may rain tomorrow. Now, this is a direct speech. When we are converting this direct speech into the indirect form, what do we write? He said that it might rain the next day. So, here this is to be noted that there is a vast difference in the form of the sentence over there. In the first direct speech, the punctuations remains the same. The time mentioned over here is tomorrow. Now, what is tomorrow? Today is the day. So, what is tomorrow? Tomorrow is the next day. Standing today, how can we describe the word tomorrow? We can tell it that it is the next day. So, when I am telling somebody about tomorrow's weather, tomorrow, what do I say? I say that it might rain when? Tomorrow means the next day, which the word the next day can be used as a substitute in place of tomorrow, standing today. Today's next day is tomorrow. So, here like this, there are a list of words when we can substitute one word for the other when we want to describe any time. That is, when we say last night, it can be also described as the previous night. Now is then. Then here ago is before. All right. So here are few examples where today's last night will be the previous night, now will be then, ago will be before. In this way, we have to change the time of the sentence to express the meaning when we are reporting it. So, we can see that words expressing nearness, words expressing nearness, it can be also changed into expressing distance. So, this can be changed into words expressing distance. For example, like words come, go, here, there. Then we have hence, thence, this, that, these, those, etc. today, the next day, tomorrow, the next day, again, yesterday, again will be the previous day, and henceforth. So, we find that again the distance and also the nearness can be used as a change when we are expressing it in the reported speech. In case of an interrogative sentence, the introductory verb is changed into asked, inquired, exclaimed, etc. For example, in the direct speech, we say, he said to me, do you know the way? As it is a question, we have to put the interrogative sign over here. When this same sentence is converted into the indirect speech, now what do we write? He inquired of me whether I knew the way. Now, there are a lot of changes made in this statement. As before we have seen, this punctuation, the inverted commas are no more there. Now, what about the interrogative sign over here? This is no longer found in the reported speech because in the first sentence we were questioning. Now, in the second sentence, it is no longer a question. Somebody is reporting the question to a person who is the listener. What is the difference? The answer to this question is, do you know the way? Yes or no. Yes, I know the way, or I do not know the way. When the answer to such a question is either yes or no, to join these two sentences, the word whether or if is used to join the sentence. The word said, when it becomes a question, it changes into the word inquired, because inquired means he was asking, and asking is here the interrogation. The main difference is here in this sentence, what I have previously told you is that the first sentence was a question, but when it is reported, it no longer remains a question. It is turned into a statement. And as it is a statement does not have an interrogative sign. So, we end the statement always with a full stop. So, here are the changes that are noted, that the introductory verb, which is the introductory verb over here? The word said. Introductory verb is either changed into inquired, asked, or else when the answer to the first question is yes or no, then it is joined with either whether or if. So, this type is the interrogative sentences when it is converted, when the direct speech is converted into the indirect speech. The next kind of sentence is the imperative sentence. Now, what are imperative sentences? These are commands, requests or orders. Here again, as I have said in the interrogative sentences, that it is a question form. So, these are now commands, request, orders. So, here the introductory verb is again changed into either commanded, ordered or requested, pleaded, etc. Let us take for example that he said to his servant, go out of the house. Now, what is the person doing or telling his servant? He is ordering his servant to go out of the house. So, how do we report the same speech? What did he say? What did the master tell his servant? He ordered his servant to go out of the house. So, in this case we can see that the introductory verb is changed into ordered, because what is the sense that we get in this first sentence? That is, the master is ordering his servant, go out of the house. So, we here say in the reported speech that he ordered his servant to go out of the house. Coming to the last category of the kind of sentences, how we change the direct speech to the indirect speech. The last category that we have here in the kinds of sentences is the exclamatory sentences. The exclamatory sentences are expressing your emotions, feelings and sensations. Whether you are happy or you are sad, or something has happened and you are surprised, you are wonderstruck, those type of sentences are exclamatory sentences. In these cases, the introductory sentences, introductory verb rather, is changed into either it is he exclaimed, he shouted, he cried in joy, or he wished, he prayed, etc. Let us here see what a terrible storm it is. He said. This he was surprised to see a terrible storm, and he exclaimed, he shouted because he was surprised. Why is this an exclamatory sentence? Because here we have used the exclamatory sign to indicate that this sentence is an exclamatory sentence. And which is the introductory verb over here? He said. Again, this word he said will be changed into he exclaimed that it was a terrible storm. I hope this is clear that the introductory verb becomes he exclaimed, because this is a matter of surprise, since it was a terrible storm and we are all surprised and we exclaim when we see a terrible storm. So, when we report this to somebody, we say he exclaimed that it was a terrible storm. To learn direct indirect speech, we have to learn the different rules that we need to apply while converting a direct speech into an indirect speech and vice versa. So, keep learning grammar, keep learning English, and children, learn very well. That will improve you to learn your English, which is very important in life, dear children. Thank you very much.